Good morning, my lovelies. Is your favorite weirdo reporting live from my front porch, which is quite debatable. Yeah, very debatable. It's been an interesting couple of days. Shenanigans all around, right? This is the problem whenever people don't know how to move the lens. Yeah. Where they only see either one way or the other, right? Like they're looking at one little something and they'll say, well, I don't get it, right? Well, sometimes you got to move further out away from it to get it, yeah? To see the whole picture. Depends on how, well, it depends on a lot of things, yeah? And then some people only look at the surface and never move the microscope further down to the slide to see all the details, right? Just like people, some people just exist in their own little bubble, right? And they don't ever recognize anything outside of that, right? And then there's some people who can do both, yeah? So there's people who see only surface level, and there's people who see way underneath, yeah? There's people who hear surface level, and there's people who hear way underneath. That, I guess, is what they call the matrix, right? Because when somebody is operating way underneath the surface, right? People on their surface are like, you can't see shit, right? You're on the boat, right? Looking at the water. There's a whole ecosystem under there that you can't see from that boat, right? Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that you can't see it, right? Should what's in the depths of the water and in that ecosystem, should they just not function because you can't see or understand their existence, right? No, right? So that should tell you everything you need to know about functioning in a world that operates one way and maybe doesn't get you, doesn't understand you, doesn't understand from where you operate, yada yada, right? Like, it shouldn't matter, right? Like, the fish shouldn't stop swimming, eating, functioning because the people in the boat don't get it, right? Like, that should make the whole worrying about what other people think issue be resolved, yeah? Like, should a brain surgeon not do his job because you don't get it, right? No, right? That's logic. So that's just how I see it, right? And I was thinking too, because you hear all the time, like in the ether or whatnot, like they're laughing at you or whatever, right? Like, I don't give a shit, right? I have found that people who have time for that sort of behavior, right, or have those characteristics, generally they're doing nothing of importance, right? Because I know I don't have time for that, right? Like, I have to make sure that everything that I do, like, I know that everything that I do, like, matters, like, on a scale so small, right? And so large that I can't just entertain anything, right? Right? Because I am observing, hearing, speaking, doing on a much deeper level, right? Like, I'm so far removed from the surface. I don't know what to do with myself sometimes, honestly. All right. The other day I was thinking, I was like, oh man, if everyone like goes back to being like animals and whatnot, that would be a lonely world, right? Those are the questions that I ask myself. Those are the conversations I'm having with myself, right? Not worried if the hyenas, right? Or whatever. Yeah. Because there's a lot of noise in this world, right? And like I've said, like a lion doesn't need to like roar through the jungle to be the king of it, yeah. So I mean, we pick our way to operate, yeah. Oh, now this is good and going. Like I love working on what I work on, right? Like I like seeing the progress. I do, right? That's called purpose, right? Some people's purpose are to be distractions, right? And if the world would realize that, then they wouldn't entertain a lot of what they entertain now. If they realize that these are just distractions to your growth, right? And the truth about vibration and frequency is if the world operated on a proper vibration and frequency, it would automatically change what you view, how you view your health, all of it. Yeah, everything, right? Like on a global scale, right? It'd be a new world, all right. It would, right? Not the dystopia, right? But people were given uh, a manual, basically, of what they need to do in life, and they'll never question it. So they're going to operate where they operate, yeah? And they're going to cling to it while the rest of the world, well, they won't be in the upgrade, that's for sure, right? 'Cause you got to look at, I stay away from like the techie, even though I could explain it in that manner, right? But the whole world doesn't need to like go at it like some archaic like tribe. No, they can literally accomplish everything they want to accomplish just by watching their frequency and their sound and what they consume electronically. Period. Period. You could, I'm not going to say what you could do, but it would basically like delete the part of the code that is problematic, right? Like, I constantly hear like this arguing and this and that. And you know why? You know why? It's not because it's special or anything, right? It's because it is the most abundant, right? It's the most abundant. It's what people are feeding. It's what they're giving their energy into. And so they're creating through that attention, through that energy, right? Or frequency, and then creating that energy. And then I happen to hear it, right? And pick it up. But if they stop that, then it would be a non issue. That's why I said I don't care. Like, right? Because it's a whole bunch of people giving a whole bunch of existence to and a voice to, right? Something. That's all it is. So I don't care. I don't care about those energies that are generated through generations of brainwashing and directed behavior and belief that's led them to conduct themselves in a certain way. And so it has created chain reactions in the world in a certain way, right? It's as simple as that. Like if everyone just stopped, right? And searched for who they are, right? Themselves, their own energy, etc., all this mess would stop, right? But they want somebody to come in and do the work for them, right? Because somebody has told them a story that all they have to do is just suffer, and then I don't know. I'm not getting into like the whatevers of that, right? It is much better to just operate from your understanding and leave others to their journey, right? They're going to resonate with what they resonate with. It is what it is, right? Because growth happens in stages. Yeah, it does. Now, when you decide that you're done growing, I beg you to ask, is there more? Right? Because, the video I posted about, Pascal and the dilemma of the gambler, right? Well, if you give them all the blah, 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 like blah, 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 right? But that's because there is a beginning and end, right? Like that's where humanity has gone wrong, right? They've created these beginning and endings. They've done it with time. They've done it with, like, school, right? There's a beginning and an end. There's you do this and then you accomplish this and you get to point A and you get to point B and that's all there is, right? But that's not how it works. And because people are stuck on that train of thought of thinking, right? Then that's why nobody's satisfied, all right? And when you understand that it's the song that never ends, yeah, then you will find life a lot more enjoyable, but also frustrating, right? Because I do find moments where I'm just like, what the fuck, right? Right, because I'm not accomplishing something like as quickly as I would like, or I'm not making the progress that I think I should be making, right? And I've been doing this for so long, and that's another thing, right? Is we can do something for so long that we forget to stop and think about like all the progress because you're just plowing ahead, right? Right? Because you have the journey and then you have the goal, right? And so you're plowing through the journey and you're just forgetting like the significant whatevers to it, right? And especially if you're doing this and other people are observing this, right? It may seem like fantastical to them, and then it's just another day for you, right? And that's with everyone with something or anything in their lives that they are like passionate about or good with, or something good that they do, right? It's just the reality of it. So even I have to remind myself, right? Like, it's not normal, right? It's not normal. It's not normal what I do. Yeah. It's not normal amongst these generations or whatever. Yeah. It's my normal, but it's not normal to them. All right. That's why I get so aggravated. Like, it is like the Matrix, right? It's so aggravated whenever I'm doing something and I know the importance and why I'm doing something that someone wants to insert themselves or step in and blah, 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 right? That's the system they created, right? But anywho, there's a little quick update. Glad we got those that conundrum sorted. And I also wanted to speak about the one. I thought about this morning, or after I watched the Dynamite Hack Boys in the Hood. Yeah, it's classic. But the doorway to the nuclear place, right? It looks like little square. It looks like croquet, don't it? It does. Yeah, it does. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna sleep for a while. A good sleep. To New Frequency. I do recommend you listen to the World Sound Healing Journey. What I would give to be in a room with all those things, yes. Ah.